Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. We have a lot to get to today, including tax day. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick, though, kicking us off on this Tuesday with a look at your weather forecast. And Thomas, just rain here in the inland northwest, except for parts of like North Idaho, right, that got a light dusting of snow?
Yeah, just been hearing of a few reports, mostly people saying, oh, I saw the snowflakes, and then by the time they hit the ground, they melted away pretty quickly. That is mostly what we are seeing. And as you look over Coeur d'Alene, you don't see any snow on the beaches, albeit it is a pretty cold morning out there. It's about 34, 36 degrees between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And as we look at Doppler radar, notice how a lot of that green started to switch over to snow. Basically, as it got colder and colder through the night, more of the precipitation at least tried to switch over to snow, but at the moment it's mostly hitting the ground as rain. But I just wouldn't be surprised to see some of the snowflakes trying to mix in even as of this hour, because it is about our low temperatures for the day. Now in Coeur d'Alene, you have increased temperature-wise by a couple of degrees, up to 35 now, but it's still 32 in Wallace and 30 in St. Mary's and Moscow, making for the coldest spots in the inland northwest.
Happening today, Barker Road at Trent Avenue is opening back up this week after being closed for more than 2 years. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is live there right now. So Nicole, let us know when the road will be back open for drivers. I know a lot of people looking forward to this.
So Tim, right now we're at Barker and Trent. We're just close to it, and just down the street, construction is pretty much finished up. The road is actually opening up to drivers tomorrow morning, but we do know that the city of Spokane Valley is first hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony for this project. That ribbon cutting ceremony is happening this afternoon at 2 o'clock, and then again tomorrow that road will officially open to drivers. The new road goes up and over the BNSF railway, so now drivers won't get stuck waiting for the train. The city says it will save more than 2.5 hours of combined waiting time for drivers every day. Plus, it will help emergency services respond to calls faster, and the trains won't have to sound their horns, making the neighborhoods around here quieter. Overall, the whole project cost $26 million. The money came from a combination of city and state funds and grants. Now, construction on this project started back in March of 2021, over 2 years ago. It was supposed to be finished up this past fall, but they did have a few delays because they had to build a metal safety fence. In Spokane Valley, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
In our In Session series, we help you make sense of the hot topics in the legislature.
This morning, a bill is sitting on Governor Jay Inslee's desk awaiting his signature. The bill he is expected to sign will allow for more police chases in Washington. It passed the Senate yesterday. The bill lowers the threshold for when police can chase after someone. Right now, they need evidence of a crime. Under the version finalized by the state Senate, police can chase someone if the officer has reasonable suspicion of a crime. It also expands the list of crimes that can trigger a chase, including sexual or violent crimes, DUI, escape, domestic violence, and vehicular assault. Critics, including police, hope that list would include burglary and car theft.
Also in Olympia, state lawmakers signed off on the first steps towards legalizing psilocybin. That's the compound found in so-called magic mushrooms for therapy. Now on Friday, the state Senate passed a bill to create a task force and state board that will come up with a plan for regulating the drug. A pilot program would make the treatment available for some veterans and some first responders who are suffering from PTSD, mood disorders, or substance abuse disorders. We spoke with State Senator Jesse Solomon last year about the proposed bill.
It's pretty amazing and hard to believe the amount of long-term success for addiction recovery, depression, anxiety that we're seeing.
Oregon recently passed a law decriminalizing mushrooms. Washington's bill also considers using them for cultural or religious practices.
And looking ahead, lawmakers in Olympia have until Sunday to finalize other major bills. Some of the big ones still on the table: a new 2-year budget, a drug possession law, a bill that would ban the sale of so-called assault weapons, and a possible new transportation budget to pay for road projects across the state.
7-5 as we track rain and snow across the inland northwest for this morning. In Spokane, it started to come to an end at around 4 a.m., so it has been dry for a couple hours since, but it is a slow moving storm system over North Idaho. Even in the last hour or so, started to back build, especially right along the state line, but everything is just trying to drift off towards the east or north and east with some heavier snow basically at the higher elevations. 4th of July Pass and eventually Lookout Pass are definitely going to get the most of any snowfall, especially sticking snowfall through this morning, but should not last all morning long. And this afternoon, more of the same, right around 50 degrees, a chance for some scattered showers that we've been very much used to these past couple weeks.